Life is beautiful, but it is also freaking challenging. Welcome to the StayiN Wild and Well podcast. My name is Rin, and my greatest accomplishment is being alive. Here we talk about life's journey, the ups, the downs, the in-betweens, all things mental health, body, mind, and spirit. We share wild stories and keeping your wild alive while staying well. Like the capital N in StayiN Wild and Well, like the capital N in Rin, life goes up, it goes down, but it always goes back up. But there is the in-between, and the in-between is often what happens when our brain is trying to rescue us. When our brain is trying to rescue us when we are moving through challenge. Now, this is for you if you are recognizing that you have a challenge that you are trying to overcome. It could be a behavior, it can be a pattern, it could be an addiction, whatever it can be. This episode is for you. So I want you to take a moment and I want you to think about what that behavior is. And by the way, if you are watching this and you say you don't have a behavior, we all have coping mechanisms because there is not one person in the world that hasn't gone through challenge. And if your brain's number one job is to protect you, it is going to come up with methods to do so. It's whether or not that behavior, that pattern, or that addiction is impacting your life in a way that is challenging, and not only challenging, but making life a little bit harder than it has to be. It served you once and it no longer serves you, so you are looking to get rid of it and eradicate it. This episode is for you. Okay, so it's recognizing what it is. And in that recognition of what it is, it's having radical honesty about it. This is what the behavior is, and this is how it shows up. This is what it is doing and how it's impeding my life right now, and how it once served me, but it no longer is. Complete and radical honesty. Within that radical honesty, I urge you to connect to someone you love and tell them about this challenge, this pattern, this addictive behavior, whatever it may be, and let them know what you are struggling with. This is really not easy. Radical honesty about the behavior is one of the hardest parts because tied into this is guilt and shame. Guilt and shame. Why am I showing up this way? Why is this happening? Not proud of yourself. Judging yourself, creating a story of what it means about you because of this behavior. So not only is radical honesty one of the biggest pieces, so is self-compassion. Self-compassion and recognizing that you are human, which means your brain is going to often override some of the things that you want until you learn how to control those behaviors and see them. Because if your brain's number one job is to protect you, it is going to look for things outside of you to make you feel better. Whether that be a drug, whether that be alcohol, whether that be gambling, whether that be food, whether that be throwing yourself into work, what can it give you as a distraction to pull you away from what you are experiencing? What can it find that feeds you dopamine, that feel-good hormone in our brains to make us feel good, even if it's only temporarily, so that we can move past the challenge that we are going through? Having that self-compassion to know that the brain is designed that way allows you to see it for what it is and lean into that radical honesty without judgment. And not only does the brain do this, but society has been built in such a way that everything is feeding us dopamine constantly, from social media to media outlets to the food that we eat to the experience that we have, the touch on our five senses. Everything is designed to give gratification. So of course you have fallen into this pattern and this behavior. And let me tell you, as I'm speaking about this, I am not coming from the lens of somebody who has it all figured out, because I myself have been so open about my OCD challenges that I deal with on a regular basis, which I find show up so much so like addiction. But what I can tell you is the more that I have leaned into radical honesty, the more that I have gotten to know myself and the way I tick and how challenges and stress show up in my system, the more that I have been able to move past these things. It doesn't mean that they're going to go away forever. But what it does mean is that you get better and better at navigating them and knowing how to move through them. And you might say, well, what's the point of listening to this if it's not going to go away? I need it to go away. I mean, it can, but the urge might still be there, is what I'm trying to say. And so if you're watching this and you have guilt and shame, you and me are no different. We are the exact same. I am looking at you. I see you. I hear you. I understand you. I feel you. I urge you to message me if you feel like you are needing that little boost of hope, because I can promise you, you can get to the other side and move past these behaviors and these challenges, but it's going to take a little bit of work. So radical honesty is one piece, and having that self-compassion is another. The other that I find very, very helpful is to start to write down a journal, a daily journal, writing down what the behaviors are, how they show up day to day, the date, the behavior, and then underneath that, emotions. So throughout the day, what emotions are you feeling? Are you feeling anxious? Do you feel a little bit disconnected from your body? Are you disassociated? Are you having a great day? How was your sleep last night? I know when I get like 3 hours of sleep, the urge for more dopamine or even certain foods, so much higher. I need to nourish my body a little bit more because I need more energy. So I urge you to write down the behaviors and the emotions that go along with it. This way you could better track to get ahead of yourself, so that this way you could start to see the behaviors, recognize them and catch them, and start to make changes. You could see how they're connected to the emotions that you are going through and why they are showing up as coping mechanisms. This is a big piece to start to help you out. You'll look down at my notes here. I have some notes for you. Oh yeah, to every week, every day, to have like a small goal, not to overwhelm yourself with too many goals. Choose some small goals to work towards to help better the progress that you are making. And tell someone about your goals so that you could celebrate them, because every little victory you have, one small change that you have made, is going to add up to those big life changes that you want to see. Recognizing the patterns that are attached to the behavior. Often there are rituals surrounding what we are moving through that drive the behavior. So connecting to that and being able to see it so that you can catch it before it turns into the behavior. So start to change the ritual. So if you do something before you do the behavior, start to remove what you do, that ritual, to move to something else. Who do you want to be? What is the life that you want? This is the biggest piece I want you to take away today. Who do you want to be? What is the life that you want? And try to show up as that person. Write the things down. Allow yourself to feel into that energy of who you want to be. Who do you want to be? I believe that you could be whoever you want to be. You can have whatever life you want to have. And if you can start to embody it, meditate it, and feel it through your bones, you could start to move towards that change. So again, radical honesty, self-compassion, recognizing the behaviors, writing them down and connecting them to your emotions, sharing with somebody and creating small goals, and leaning into your truth and living the life that you want to live. What does that feel like? Who do you want to be? You can be whoever you want to be, and you can have whatever life you want to have. The choice is up to you.